Here we go. Here we go. Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse special live show, basically to congratulate Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns for being selected starters for the Eastern Conference team. First time both of them have been selected starters. Tremendous honor. The Knicks are the only team with two guys on the All-Star selection right now, starters. This is a great acknowledgement of the quality of players that New York has brought here. Leon Rose, it's fantastic. Congratulations to the whole organization, but definitely big congrats to the Big Cat and the Brunson burner. They deserve it. Let's go. My name is George, by the way. Welcome into the Knicks-Verse. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up button for me. Drop your comments if you're watching this later on. Welcome to the live show right now. Let's see. This was just thrown together really quickly. Shout out to we got Kareem Grant. What's up, brother? Big Task. What's up? Big Task. The news. You mean the All-Star news, or is there other news? If there is, just drop it in the comments. Just let me know. We're going to spend a little while here talking about our two starters, talking about the Knicks and their hopes for the second half of the season. Because right now, I'll tell you, this rest period could not have come at a better time. The Knicks have 3 days off in between. They play on Saturday. So they last played on Tuesday night. Now they play Saturday. They needed this rest, and they will have some other days in between next week. But the schedule gets incredibly difficult coming up. Highly recommend open widget. I got a weird notice here. Anyway, welcome everybody. Tony Menendez, what's up, man? So right here, joining Brunson as an Eastern Conference NBA starter is Karl-Anthony Towns, and it's his first start. I didn't realize it was his first start until this was all announced. But Jalen Brunson becoming a starter. His was the first name announced, actually, by Kenny the Jet on TNT. And he was like, whoa, surprise. You'll never believe what happened. It was kind of interesting how it all came about. Here, let's get to this here. Here are the total starters for the NBA. Now, mind you, it's a different format. There's 4 teams, so the idea of a starter is kind of going away. But this is still very important in terms of players' contracts and acknowledgments for how they've been playing throughout the whole season up to this point. So it definitely has a lot of symbolic meaning, and it's a great acknowledgement. For the Eastern Conference, the starters are Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, who could have been Brunson's backcourt mate had Leon pulled the trigger way back. So, and then there's Jason Tatum and Karl-Anthony Towns, the guy he did hold on to and wait until he made the trade for, and now there are 2 starters on this team from the New York Knicks. As you can see, I mean, this is loaded with scoring. Giannis is averaging 31.5. Jalen's at 26. Donovan's at 23.2. Tatum's at 27.4. And Towns is at 25.1. So loaded with scoring starters here for the East. I mean, this I would love to see that team play. That'd be awesome. And then on the Western Conference, Stephen Curry gets the nod. Definitely deserved. I think. I mean, other people could have gotten the nod, but he's playing fantastic. And the years are dwindling away where we'll be able to see him and showcase him at an All-Star game. Same goes for LeBron James. I think he got in as well because of that reason. Though Steph, I think, was only he was like 3rd or something in the voting. But remember the coaches vote and the players vote. That's how it works, or the media and the players or something. Nikola Jokic, of course, fantastic. Look at him down there. Incredible player. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, MVP right now. It's between he and Nikola for the MVP. And Kevin Durant is the 5th starter for the Western Conference. I'm pleased with the selections. Obviously, every year there's always like, oh, someone got left out, but there's the reserves. And the coaches do a great job a great job at filling out the roster with players that deserve that acknowledgement. So I'm expecting to see Jaren Jackson Jr. I'm expecting to see Wembayama. I'm expecting to see Cade Cunningham in the East. If Paolo had, not gotten injured and missed so many games, he probably would have gotten a nod as well. For the East, who else would be missing at this point? Well, LaMelo got the most votes. So for the Eastern guards, he might still get onto the team. So we'll see about that. But look at that. Look at their scoring. 22.6 for Steph, 27.2 for Durant, 32 for Shea, 23.7 for LeBron, and 30 points a game for Nikola. God, Nikola Jokic. Look at the those two big guys down at the bottom there. Karl-Anthony Towns and Nikola Jokic. They are in the top. Well, I think Towns is number 1 in rebounding currently right now, and Nikola is probably number 3 because I think Domantas Sabonis is around there. It's between those three right there. Jalen Johnson would be an interesting. I think it might be a stretch this season for him, but he's on the radar. Though if he got in, I would not be surprised. I could see next year if he keeps this going for sure, and he has a strong postseason for sure. You got to remember, part of this is Jalen is getting rewarded not only for his great play this year, but tremendous play last year and taking the Knicks deep and pushing the Sixers out of the playoffs. And they were literally they were so close to the Eastern Conference Finals. So he's being rewarded for that entire period right now, and I totally agree with that. Donovan is being rewarded for his outstanding play this season, leading the Cavs to the number 1 spot in the East. And Tatum, of course, the guy's a perennial All-Star, perennial MVP candidate, though. He's never won the MVP. I don't know if he'll ever get it, though. Let's see, what do we got? The East is easy because a lot of guys got hurt or bad seasons. Paolo, Franz, Embiid, Maxey, Paul George, Scotty Barnes, all former stars that were either injured or just bad. Yep. But that happens. Some teams have off years. There's no, why is Paul George not playing at the Paul George level? Why is Tyrese Maxey not playing at Tyrese Maxey level? He was able to thrive last year without Joel for long periods of time. So, he doesn't deserve a nod. And Embiid doesn't deserve a nod. Can't be healthy enough. Franz and Paolo, I don't think both would have gotten in. It probably would have been Banchero, the way he had gotten off to a tremendous start. But those 5 games were beautiful. Then he got hurt. He's back now. He's playing great ball, but it's just not enough to be rewarded with an all-star berth. An all-star nod. And then Scotty Barnes, very frustrating. He's frustrating. I feel like he's kind of regressed a bit. So we'll see how he can shake this off, how he's going to deal with this news. I'm sure he believes he's an all-star, but he hasn't played one this season. So, we'll get back to that. Get over to here. One thing I wanted to look at, get this ready here. Look at where the Knicks are right now. Well, one thing here. Let's keep going here. This SNY tweeted this out. Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns are the first Knicks duo to start the NBA All-Star Game since Walt Frazier and Earl Monroe in 1975. When I first started seeing people texting about, it's been 50 years, I was like, wait a second. I could swear Johnny Starks and Ewing, were All-Stars at the same time. But Starks wasn't selected as a starter, though, and this is just going, top of my head, I think he ended up starting, but I think it was because of injury. Don't quote me on that, but that was right around in my brain. But then I went and checked, and it's true. This is the first time 2 Knicks have been selected as starters. Tremendous achievement for everybody all around, for the organization, the players, obviously themselves. Towns got here. He was traded here the day before spring training was supposed to, spring training. Preseason was supposed to begin. I always call anything spring training. Anything that's before the regular season, I always call it spring training. But preseason, he was sent here one day before, and look how well he's gelled with this team. They still have a lot of kinks to work out, especially defensively, but I'm seeing glimmers of hope defensively. I am seeing little glimmers of hope. Let's see, what else we got? If you guys drop anything in the comments here that you want me to shout out. Kyrie playing okay, but Kyrie's not playing well enough. That's for sure. Actually, let's who are the other options here for the starters for the rest of the team? How did this that's what I want to see, how the ballots finally ended up. Let's see. Well, I'll find it here. But let's go back and talk about the upcoming schedule here. So the Knicks, this Saturday, we play the Kings. We host the Kings. The Kings are scrappy, man. Last night, who were they playing last night? But they pulled that game out. They're now 23-20. Oh, it was against the Warriors. But it was in Sacramento. They were at home hosting them. And the Warriors, they had a nice lead. I think the Kings came back from a 17 or 18-point lead at home. They've been reinvigorated since Mike Brown was let go, and now Doug Christie is the head coach there. The Knicks, I feel like this should be a game the Knicks should win handily. They should, but we don't know. I mean, this is the weird part of the season right now. Last night, it took the Boston Celtics in overtime and to go to overtime to defeat a severely depleted LA Clippers team. That team, they were already kind of depleted, and then they had nobody. It was Kevin Porter Jr. was kind of leading the charge for the Clippers last night, and it took overtime for the Celtics to win. So it was thinking, as I was watching that game and several others, I was thinking, you know what? I think maybe we as a fan in the fan base, we've been a little too judgmental on the way the Knicks have been winning games and who they were beating. Because, look, a win in the NBA is a win, no matter what. Because any night, we know the cliche, any night, any team can beat any team. That's true. But it's also hard, the schedule, the travel, you have life issues, all of it, to control all of that and to be able to focus and win every single night. I forgot who it said. I think Mike Breen was quoting Hugh B. Brown, and he said every season, I hope I'm attributing it correctly, every season there's like 5 games that the team just doesn't show up for whatever reason. You can strategize it. Everyone can have all the film, all the notes, the scouting reports, everything. Everyone can even be healthy, but they just don't show up. 5 games every year. Even the best teams, 5 games. Okay. Well, it seems like for us, we're used to that being like 35 games. Like that's Knicks fans. So we get nervous when we see our team faltering, not executing correctly. We start to panic as a fan base because it's been 50 fucking years since we've had a championship. The trips to the finals are great, and we need that. But it's been 25 years since a trip to the finals. That's a long time. The closest we got was Eastern Conference Finals with the Melo squad. So I am not from now on going to at all take a dump on any win whatsoever. Every win is a great win. This team is trying to learn how to play together and at the same time survive to the end. Because the minutes is an issue, but I feel like we're starting to be heard. And that was a great example in the past couple of games where Thibs went to a 9-man rotation in the first quarter. That alone shows signs of maybe possibly changing the rotation, opening it up. What's up, man? We serve 100 people. Shout out to you, brother. Thanks for joining me, man. And then on Monday, we have the Grizzlies. We're hosting the Memphis Grizzlies. Basically the same record as us. 29-15. We're 29-16. That's going to be a battle royale Ja is going to come in here. He's going to want to show up. He's going to want that MSG crowd to be silenced. He's going to want all the flowers for coming in here and dominating the Knicks and coming out with a win. They're going to come in. They're going to come in with their best game possible. Now, I'm not sure if they're playing a game before this second game or not. I'm talking about the Grizzlies, but they're going to bring their A-plus game. And then 2 days after that, Wednesday, January 29th, the Denver Nuggets come to town. Rematch. They're going to want to get revenge. We beat them in Denver. They're going to want revenge here. And we're talking about Nikola Jokic and battling Karl-Anthony Towns. That's going to be outstanding. I can't wait for that matchup. If we can pull out that win. Now, look, the Grizzlies, I think we can beat the Grizzlies. I definitely think we can beat them. But it's going to take us playing our A game as well, obviously. I mean, we got to play our A game this entire stretch. Because, look, then we have the Lakers, who, they're having issues. They're still 23-18. They haven't quite figured out, their winning formula as well. But I think the Knicks could definitely take them, is what I think. But then you got the MSG factor. LeBron coming to the Garden. That's going to be huge. That's box office. That's must-see TV. So he's going to want to bring it. So that's the following Saturday, February 1st. But look, we got some nice days off in between. We got that Thursday, we got that Friday. I have an extra day off for these Knicks to rest those legs, especially the starters. Then on Monday, February 3rd, comes what might be the game I'm most looking forward to seeing. The Houston Rockets. They just beat the Cavaliers. Was it last night or the night before? They just beat the Cavs. They are for real. They have basically same amount of wins as the Knicks, almost same record, except they played 2 less games. And right after that, back-to-back, we go up to Toronto, play the Toronto Raptors, RJ, IQ, Scotty Barnes, all that jazz. But they are spiraling right now. They're 11-32. I really thought once they got healthy that they'd go on a nice little. They start trying to figure it out, go on a little winning streak, but doesn't seem to be happening. And I don't even think IQ is healthy right now. But their young legs are going to be a test. They got the youth on their side, but the Rockets is the one I'm really curious to see in terms of it being a measuring stick. But same with the Grizzlies. I mean, all these games. The Kings is a nice test, but the Grizzlies is a really big test. Obviously, the Nuggets is always a test. The Lakers, I'm putting them on like a B+ type level test. But the Rockets, that's going to be a real tremendous barometer to tell us where this team is at. The cool thing is, this is right before the trade deadline. The trade deadline is February 6th. That's that Friday. So this is it. I believe these are the games. These are the games left that Leon has and Thibs to decide what they're going to do at the trade deadline. And that's what we're going to talk about next. All right. What are these? What do you think they're going to do? What should they do? Well, let's look at a couple of stats here before we move forward here. Okay. So right now, these are the league stats, traditional league stats here. Right now, the Cavs are number 1 winning percentage, followed by OKC. They're actually, they're tied. They're tied in record right now. Celtics number 3, 31-13, and then it's the Rockets, Grizzlies, and Knicks all tied with 29 wins. Okay, of course, the losses, they have one less loss for Memphis, 2 less losses for Houston, but basically they're kind of clustered in a pack together. And then there's the Nuggets right below. The Nuggets could be considered as part of this pack right here of the second tier contenders in the second tier. Now let's look at the points scored. Or what? Let's look at this. The plus minus. Here's the plus minus overall. The Knicks are 5th, still 5th overall. A 6.0 plus minus differential, just a tick above the Houston Rockets and just 3 ticks below the Memphis Grizzlies. Actually, no, 2 and 3. The Grizzlies are 8.3. I read that wrong. I thought that was 6.3. Wow. I mean, shout out to them, man. So this is championship level type offense. In my opinion, you need an offense, especially in today's modern NBA. You know, with the 3-point shot. It used to be, you should have a top 10 offense. I'm abridging that. I think you need to have a top 7 or 6 offense right now. You have to be up in this range where the Knicks are. Now, this is just a plus minus. Let's look at here we go. Let's jump over to the ratings. Because the ratings give you a more complete story. Now, net ratings, the Knicks are 6th, pretty much tied with Houston. So it's still 5th, tied with Houston, 6.0 net rating. The difference between plus minus and net rating, plus minus are actual points scored by both teams and what the actual point differential is. The net rating is points scored per 100 possessions. And that unifies things and because some teams play at a much slower pace like we do. Some teams play at a very fast pace, so they're a high-scoring team. They have more opportunities, more chances, more shots, but it doesn't mean that they're more efficient. So that's why the ratings, you have to look at both of them together. So right here, Knicks right there, 6th, or tied for 5th, let's say. But defensive rating is the concern. However, they've snuck up to the middle of the pack now. The New York Knicks are now 15th in the NBA, the entire NBA, in defensive rating with a 112.9. Now, you look at the Pistons are at a 112.5, Kings are 112.5, so Knicks are right there in a cluster with them. Nuggets are right behind them, 113. Same with the Spurs, 113.1. So, the Knicks have been trending in a better direction of late. However, let me see. That may be, let's go with 10 games. Let's go with the last 10 games. Is it 112? Actually, no. The last 10 games, the Knicks have a 116.5 defensive rating. And a lot of that is because of OG Anunoby. He has been very inconsistent on both ends of the court as of late. You know, he's never played a whole season. He's never played 82 games. The most he's ever played, I think, was 67 games in a season. I think another season he had 66. So he's in that range. His minutes load is intense. This is why I'm really embracing this period with the extra days off, including the All-Star break. Hopefully, once the All-Star break is over, the guys come back. OG feels more refreshed and invigorated and ready to become the OG from the beginning of the season. Because the OG from the beginning of the season was killing it. Actually, I have something here I can show you guys. See if I can pull this up while we're working. Let's go to here. Let me go back to this. Go back to this. And all right. No, not that. Oh well. Forget that part. All right. Well, I lost my feed here. Home. No. What is going on here? My apologies. Okay, here we go. All right. Back. Let me see here. Edit. Okay, this is live. Okay, good. Edit over here. Okay. Got this going here. Just give me a second. I appreciate your patience tremendously. Untitled 47. All right. Oh, man. So. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Appreciate the patience here. All right. Yeah, you can see it here. This is going to be the one. I thought I had this prepped up and ready for you guys, so major apologies. Just got these. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. Here we go. So this is OG's so far, his stats so far for the season. The first 17 games, he was averaging 19.1 points per game, almost 20 points per game. That's the first 17 games. That's deep into November. That was around Thanksgiving. He was shooting 52.4% from the three-point line. And he was shooting 42.2% from the three-point line. So the guy just could not miss at the time, and even 83% from the free throw line. He was averaging 36.4 minutes per game. Since the 11-25 game, beginning 11-27 to I guess this includes Monday's game. It doesn't include Tuesday's game. So Monday's game, 27 games. He averaged 36.9 minutes per game, almost 37 minutes per game. So his minutes load went up. And then his shooting, he's averaging 13.9 points per game and only 43.6 field goal percentage. But look at the three-point percentage, 29.1%. That is atrocious. That is tough. That is a big dip in numbers. That is a 13% drop, 13.1% drop in shooting efficiency from the three-point line for OG Anunoby. Now, and even the free throw shooting, look at that, from 83% to 78%. The rebounding is down, 5.4 to 4.6. The assists down. The steals are a little down. The blocks went up, interesting, but so did the turnovers. To me, when you see like stats like this, 1.6 over 1.1 for turnovers, to me, that reeks of fatigue. I think OG is just fatigued, honestly. He'll never say it. And I respect that as well. He's going to want to be out there no matter what, and that's great. But we know that he is somewhat injury prone. I think it's absolutely imperative that Leon Rose addresses the wing supply. We need more wings. We need more wings right now, because when you look at Hart and Bridges, they're killing it in terms of minutes as well. And in OG, you can see it's impacting their efficiency. So we've got to get some help in trades, or just figure it out how to do it roster-wise and bring up TJ Warren. TJ Warren would be, I believe that he would be a really nice fit. He's worth a look at. Let's put it that way. He's worth a look. And possibly why Leon hasn't done anything at the moment is because he's probably looking for maybe a greater upgrade. I don't like who are some wings that are even available for us right now? Because like Atari Eason, he's not going to be available. The Houston Rockets are not going to get rid of him. Trey Murphy, the Pelicans aren't going to trade him right now, and also we don't have the assets to get him. So it's going to have to be, or maybe there's something in the buyout market. We'll wait till after, and that's probably why they're waiting on TJ Warren. And the upside for Warren is that he still gets to stay down in Westchester and get playing time. Because when he comes up here, he's not going to get 20, 25 minutes. He'll probably, if Thibs uses him, he'll probably get 10 minutes, 8 minutes at first. And that's not enough time.
That's not enough time for guys to really figure themselves out. So he's doing it down in Westchester, kind of like how it's reversed because TJ is a veteran. But for Deuce, man, remember those times when he was just sitting on the bench? You wouldn't see any game time when IQ was still on the team, and we kept sending him down to Westchester, and he'd tear it up down there. He'd average like 35 points a game. Well, the benefit is now it gave him time to figure out his game, so he would brought it up to the NBA level. We need to have some kind of reinforcement in the wing situation here. All right, what's going on here with the chat? We survey, yeah, the Rockets will be a major test. You all think Cat should sit the ASG to heal? Well, that's a good topic to discuss right now. The big Cat. The cover boy. So proud of him, man. His hand, he did admit to, Ian Begley reported on this, that Karl-Anthony Towns did admit that his hand was impeding his long-range shooting. Now, that's a big problem. I just showed you that OG is shooting, OG's averaging 27. Oh, I just did a mistake here. He's averaging 29.1% from the three-point line in the last 27 games. And Cat's our best big man three-point. I mean, it's the best big man three-point shooter in the East. His three-point shot is going to be missing now. That's going to really condense the floor because every time he's going to get the ball, they're going to be the defenses are going to be looking for him to drive now, so they won't be closing out as hard on him, and it won't allow him to find those cutters. That's one thing that's beautiful about him, man. I love his ability to pick up guys before they even begin the move, from the quarters, from the wings. And he hits them with those beautiful backdoor passes outside. And he even did one with Jalen Brunson in the previous game. So he's going to have to lean more on his passing ability. He's going to have to figure out how to overcome the pain of the hand to get that three-point shot back at his lethal level. Or it's just going to have to be wait. Just wait and get him some rest. So I don't think he should play back-to-backs. And possibly, we surveyed. It's a great point. Maybe he sits out the All-Star game. I doubt he will. I think what will happen is he'll go, he'll play, but he won't play that much. I think hopefully there'll be some kind of understanding, and they won't overplay him, and then he won't get that much rest, but he won't get that much workload on the actual hand. I don't even think he should even shoot a three-point shot during the All-Star game. Yes, OG swap the rust. Mikal had a great December, then started off January kind of rocky, but lately he's had some nice games. He's really been up and down offensively. Yeah, really up and down offensively. Yeah, and OG isn't finishing at the rim either. That's a great point because I had all this data on him. I was working up a video about him. Let me see, where is that data right now? Yes, that's a great point. His finishing at the rim is it's worrisome. Let's put it that way. Very worrisome. Maybe it's this one. This one here. No. Either way, I will find it. All right. Are you guys hyped for the All-Star game? Now I am. Two Knicks invited. I'm definitely hyped for that. Let's see. Shoot. Okay, here we go. Yeah, smash that like button. If you're watching this later on, just drop your comments. Let's see here. Field goal percentage at the rim. Well, according to Basketball Reference, he's shooting 72.6% at the rim. Now, that doesn't look right to me. I saw a different stat previously. Okay. Well, let me look at splits. One thing I will say, though, OG is much, much better with 2 days rest than one day rest. And he does not like 3+ days rest. His true shooting is only 40.4% when he has 3 days off. But when he has 2 days off, his true shooting is 64%, which is nice. 1 day off, he's at 59%. It's okay. Interesting. Yeah, he is struggling at the. I thought he was struggling at the rim, but according to these stats, they're saying no. But that's probably including the first 17 games, which skewed things tremendously. Tony Melendez says Cat won't finish the season. Injury will catch up. That would be terrible. I hope that does not happen. Obviously, I hope so, but it's a concern. I have that concern about all the starters, to be honest with you. Especially the way Thibs has been handling the bench this time around. Because in years past, of course, we always got him on the minutes police. The minutes police always had an issue with Thibs because he's just demonic when it comes to how he puts, how he plays guys. However, we know that in the last 5 years, he definitely has been working the bench in. He loved IQ. Look how he's handled Deuce, Alec Burks, Reggie Bullock. He's definitely had his guys that he's turned to, and he basically did run with a 9-man rotation for quite a while. So it was only this season that he really limited it down to 6 to 7. It's really before Pressures came, before Pressures was available, it was really just Payne and Deuce, and that was it. And that's when the burnout really happened. Now he's trying to blend these guys in a little more. Sims has been getting some minutes, but the Sims Hawk-Porty situation is something to keep an eye on. I think they're showcasing Sims with the hope of moving him, possibly for a second rounder, or maybe he's part of a package with a Tyler Kolek that can get us some guy who's like making, $5 million, $6 million or something. We'll see. Hey, CL Kenrick, thank you so much for the super chat contribution, man. We need 30 from OG. Yeah, OG, man, he's got it in him. He's got it in him, but lately, not so much. OG has that 140-point game. Beautiful. And a 130-point game. But most of them have been between 20 and 29. He has one thing, the finishing at the rim. God, I wish I could find that other stat. It really breaks it down. I'm going to show you guys something here. Okay. Let's see if I can find this here. All right, here we go. But I gotta reduce this. These stats are so huge from cleaning the glass. I don't know if you guys ever checked this out, but these are the lineups. All right, here we go. Cleaning the glass. Great site. All right. Okay. All right, let's look at this. So, this is Brunson off the court. Okay. One thing I want to show you guys is really, really interesting about, mostly about Josh Hart. But let's look at OG. OG, when he's on the court, any lineup, when he's on the court, the Knicks are a plus 7.5 in differential. Now, this is the points per 100 possessions, so it's similar to the rating. So, 7.5. It's really nice. 82 percentile. We know, like, the darker orange is better. 99 is like 100 percentile. It's just almost 100 percentile. Blue is very bad. Yeah, like a solid blue is the worst. So that's how these stats go. Now, in defense, when he's on the court, all lineups, when he's on the court, is allowing 113.6 points per game per 100 possessions. When he's off the court, it's a really interesting situation here. When he's off the court, look at that. They are allowing 115.4, which makes sense. The offense, though, improves 121.8. So the differential is only a plus 6 point, is a 6.5. So the differential is only one point difference per 100 possessions with OG in the lineup. Crazy, huh? That's how small the margin is. Now, 1 point in a game could be the difference between winning and losing. So, I definitely will take that. But why don't you look at this? Josh Hart. Oh, here we go. When he's on the court with any lineup, the Knicks are a plus 5.7 in points differential. All right. When he's off the court, though, this might shock a few of you. The Knicks are a plus 13.6. It's right there. We are not as good a team when Josh Hart is on the floor. That's right. I'm saying it. That's what the numbers are showing us. And you look at the numbers anywhere, and they will show you that same thing. That's kind of a head scratcher. It's like, wait, what are you saying? Like, Josh Hart is he's our every guy. He's our ever ready bunny. He's like out there just chasing balls down. He's like throwing himself on the floor. He's a hustle guy. He gets the big rebounds. He gets those great end to ends. But now let's look at Precious. All right, let's look at Precious. So that differential 13.6, and what was he when he was on? Whatever it was a pretty drastic differential. Let's look at Precious Achiuwa. All right, here's Precious. The Knicks are only a plus 2.3 with Precious on the court. With Precious off the court, though. Now, the positive sign is that the Knicks are a positive team with most of these guys on the court. It's a matter of how much more a positive team they are, how much more they dominate, more dominant they are. We're trying to find that sweet spot in terms of lineups. 8.6 when he's off the court. So he's not an improvement. That's pretty shocking right there. Now he has been getting back into shape. He's still trying to work off some rust a little bit, but by now he should be pretty much who he is. Now we'll look at Towns, and this is why you'll see why he is a starter, an all-star starter. When Towns is on the court, the Knicks are a plus 11, 91 percentile. In offense, there are 95 percentile, a 123.0. All the offensive stats are fantastic. Now in defense, a 112, 69 rating percentile. In the 69 percentile, it's not a deep orange, but it's a nice orange. It's just a tick away from 70. So defensively, he's not as much of a liability as we perceive him to be. Now, you take him off the court, oh man. And we've seen games when he hasn't played. How brutal that is. Look at this. The first time we're seeing a minus. Minus 0.5. That's how crucial Karl-Anthony Towns is to this team right now, which makes the return of Mitchell Robinson even that much more crucial. Should the Knicks trade Mitch and somebody else, a package for like a Valanciunas, or trade him like it was James Edwards from New York Times? What was his proposal? It was Mitch and I forgot who it was, but we would get back Isaiah Stewart and Torrey Craig. Honestly, I think we should just wait for Mitch. I think we bring in some kind of a wing to help, because I do believe that the OG issue and the Mikal issue and even the Josh Hart issue is just pure minutes load. If their minutes were more reasonable, their efficiencies would rise just naturally. It's just human nature. It's just the way it works. Now, you need to reach that kind of sweet spot because, if a guy's barely playing, it's hard for them to get into their groove. So we're not talking about, limiting them to nothing. We're talking about finding them, they can still average 28, 30 minutes a game, but not 37, not 39 like Mikal. I mean, not 38 for Hart or something. That is a lot, man. And also, it's those long stretches where Thibs will play. Like, he played Mikal once 35 minutes straight. 35 minutes straight. That's nuts. And even into overtime sometimes. So, to me, I would not be looking at bringing in another big that would cost us something important. I think we've already got that guy. His name is Mitchell Robinson. He's lost some weight, so it's less of a burden on his lower body. And I think he's learned enough about how to defend the big, strong centers in the league, like the Embiids of the world. He's figured out techniques to deal with them. And obviously, to be honest with him, honest with you guys, and I've said it before, he was the difference maker in that series for a big stretch, man. He put so much doubt in Embiid's mind that Embiid had to get dirty again, and actually hurt Mitch to get him out of the series. That was their only hope at that point. So I think at this point, it's pretty clear to see that we need to bring in a wing. Because even when we look at Mikal Bridges, and even though I see Matt Ryan's name down there, why not play him? So with Mikal on the court, the Knicks are an 80th percentile, 6.7 differential, 91 percentile offense, nice, but only a 114.5 in defense. Remember, so Cat had the best defensive metrics here so far of the players we've looked at. But when Mikal's off the court, let's see how the Knicks are. 6.7. When Mikal is off the court, the Knicks are a plus 10.1. But this is very few possessions. Only 729. There's only been 729 possessions. Remember, this scrubs out garbage time, by the way. This doesn't include garbage time. They're really good with that. So it gives you a more realistic view of their productivity. He's only missed 729 possessions. So that's a tired guy. That's a guy who's tired. But look at the defense even. It pops up. So we're talking about lineups with Brunson, Deuce, Hart, OG, and Towns. So basically it's replacing Deuce for Mikal. Replacing Mikal for Deuce in that lineup. Here it's the same, but with Campaign. But look at that lineup, though. Look at that. 41.3 differential. 137. Oh, man, Deuce is killing it. Whew. Beautiful. Deuce is a very, very special bench player. We should definitely look at him right now. Get into this. All right. No, we're not going to get rid of Josh Hart. Who wrote that? No, it's a matter of how we use him. It's a matter of how we use him. Deuce, when he's on the court, the Knicks are a plus 10.8. I mean, that just pretty much says it right there. Oh, not Mikal. Plus 10.8, 91 percentile. When he's off the court, they're plus 5.2, which is more true to the team itself. The starters. let's look at the starters. That one unit that has played more minutes than any other team in the NBA, any other lineup in the NBA. So this is our starting lineup right here. We're a plus 5.2, 57 percentile. Nothing exciting to write about. Defensively, a 113.8. That's also kind of close to the middle. Points per possession, 119. You can see that this lineup isn't the best lineup. It really isn't. And for a while, I thought, God, man, I think we have the best starting lineup in the NBA. Which actually still may be true, except that the wear and tear that has gone on may have reduced their ability to be their best version of themselves. That's a way to phrase that. When Brunson is off the court, let's see how the Knicks do. When Brunson is off the court, the Knicks are a plus 11.4. Wow. And now that's a lot of it. That's Deuce and Campaign. Shout out to them. And remember, the Deuce and Cam play better defense than Brunson, especially Deuce. Deuce especially. 110.9, a 76 percentile on defense. That's a big game changer right there. When Brunson's on the court, see what this says here. Still a plus 5.9, 77 percentile. Excellent, or very good. Not excellent. This is excellent. 120.9, 90 percentile. The defense is still at 115.1 to 43 range. They need to improve all of that. That's for sure. That's for sure. Because that's the other thing. The Wingstop trio have to, basically plug holes. The holes that Brunson creates. Because he's not a great point of attack defender. He's just not. Though he has improved a lot in terms of figuring out how to, create turnovers, especially with picking up charges. Love all of that. But at the end of the day, he's just small. It's just the reality of him. He's small. So it's just the reality. But looking at all that, there's all-star starters. Very deserving of it. I can't wait to see this game. I can't wait to see them play. I hope that Cat does play. I hope he gets his flowers. He gets honored and everything. Now that Brunson got his all-star start, he should focus on distribution to get those wings going. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I thought for a while there he was doing really well with his passing game. I think it's dwindled down a little bit. Definitely dwindled down. What's up, Sandman? Anna Grill. We got Tony Menendez. We serve 100 people. Juan Miguel. Chris Gotti. What's up, man? All right, we're gonna wind this down pretty soon. Just wanted to jump on and discuss the All-Stars. It's a fantastic honor. These guys deserve their flowers. We're lucky to have them as our starting combo duo or dynamic duo. I do think even though the numbers recently show that the defense has been stumbling of late, I see signs of improvement, though it will require the Wingstop trio to have a refresh, and that is coming up. I showed you that, right now we're in the first phase of that refresh, 3 days off before the next game, which is Saturday. And then even though they play a back-to-back next week, they have 2 days off before another game. And then comes the All-Star weekend. So rest is on its way. And also and then the trade deadline is coming on February 6th. And a lot will be answered then. Either Leon will have figured out how to bring in reinforcements, because he may bring in more than one guy. We don't know. But hopefully it'll be a wing. And then we'll have more news. Hopefully it'll be announced that Mitch is allowed to start running, sprinting, and practicing with the squad. That should come soon. I expect Mitch to be with the team right after the All-Star break. So if we make a trade for a wing, and, the TJ Warren thing can still happen. We can still bring him up. So we make a trade for a wing. We bring TJ Warren onto the squad, and then we have Mitch. Maybe if we are able to move Sims, feature Hawkporty more, because remember, Mitch is going to need some time to get his legs out from under him too, his game legs. This is all in flux right now, but I do feel like this team has figured out a way to pick up 29 wins, and they should be revered for that, especially in lieu of what I just saw last night with the Celtics barely beating a completely decimated, injury-depleted LA Clippers team. They had to go to overtime, the Celtics did, to win, and they barely won even then. So any win is a big win, and the Knicks have 29 of them. Doesn't matter if a lot of them came against inferior opponents. They took care of business against the Atlanta Hawks, who had been 6-1 against Boston, Cleveland, and New York. Now they're 6-2, so they obviously know how to beat those top-tier teams, and us taking care of business against Atlanta shows that we have a team who can handle good top quality. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this. TJ Warren will be up in March. He will help. Yes, I will help earlier. I hope earlier. Hart's value is energy and bench punch. Yes, he has tremendous. Yeah, his energy level is a tremendous value, but he just often makes like dumb mistakes. That's one of the. If he could cut down on the mistakes, the dumb fouls, the brooding, the moodiness with refs. Though it's a lot of it's kind of jokingly. But he's always got that crooked face. He like according to him, he never makes a foul. It's like one of those kind of guys. But his inability to get going early in games is an issue as well, and I've noticed that a lot. Because you'll see Brunson, Cat, OG, Mikal. They're working it, but the defenses are up and they're clamped down on them, and the one guy that they're not is Josh Hart. So that when he gets the ball out on the three-point line, he's got to let it fly. He's got to let it fly. Instead, he decides to try to drive, and in that, if there's not a clear path or he encounters some resistance, it often turns, not often, but not often enough does it turn into a positive play. Let's put it that way. Now, he is a good passer. That's for sure. He claims he's the best passer on the team. I think Cat is. But he needs his like too many dumb turnovers and dumb fouls. That's the thing that frustrates me about Josh Hart. But you cannot. His energy level is fantastic. It's infectious. So it's like the good with the bad. But how about we lessen some of that bad? How about be a little more efficient with the ball? How about you don't have a plan before you jump in the air with the ball? Like Clyde always says, have a plan, know what to do. He says don't even jump in the air unless you know what's going to happen. So those things need to be cleaned up. Now, all those things, I do think that in a playoff setting, those things do start correcting themselves. Things like fatigue in a playoff setting aren't as important because you get a good amount of rest in between the games, and you're focusing on one opponent. And you know that if you lose, you go home. And if you have a championship makeup and chemistry, your players are going to rise to the occasion and they're going to fight through any kind of fatigue they may have had. So, that to me says the New York Knicks are in third place right now in the East. That's exactly where they're going to stay. If not, maybe they go on a little run. Could catch Boston. We'll see. Or who knows what happens with the Cavs. The second half is coming. So we'll see about that. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Congrats to our big guys here for their All-Star nominations. Fantastic. My name is George. Please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button for me. Drop your comments, especially if you're watching this later on. I try to read them all, and I really appreciate them tremendously. Okay, let's go. I will see you on Saturday around the Knicks-Verse.